Scott Phillips, CEO of Passages. Welcome to Jerusalem Dateline.
Thank you, Julie. It's great to be with you. Thank you.
So, Scott, now Passages is normally an organization that brings college students to Israel, but over the last few weeks, you've been working on a different project that has to do with Ukraine. Tell us about that.
That's right. Well, really, the reason we bring students to Israel is to connect them, of course, to Israel, to their faith, but also to give them an appreciation for the Jewish community, both in America and worldwide. And so we knew that our students wanted a way to get involved, wanted a way to help with what's happening in Ukraine.
Mm-hmm.
And, with our mission of really raising awareness about anti-Semitism and building bridges of friendship with the Jewish community, this was a great way for us to get our students involved, but also to really tangibly help Ukrainian Jews, that are in Ukraine.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And you've raised quite a bit of money, right?
Yeah, we were able to raise $12,000, and then we had a matching grant for that. So over $20,000 that we were able to raise from our alumni communities or college students in America.
That's really great. That's really great. And now, speaking of college students, you've been bringing them, but then we had coronavirus and Israel was closed down. It's open up again now. So what are your plans for bringing groups now?
Well, we were so pleased to hear about the lifting of the restrictions in Israel. And, it's game on for us, really be able to get back to our mission of bringing college students here back to Israel. And, our goal this year is up to 2,000 students, God willing, and the borders stay open, 2,000 students this year and another 3 next year.
Wow.
So it's exciting.
Yeah. Now, tell us a little bit about why it's different for them. What is a Passages tour? How is that different than a regular tour?
That's a great question. It's a tour that really is a hybrid of sorts. Passages mission involves, our tagline says, discover your roots, encounter Israel, tell your story. And that first part is discover your roots, which is we want students to really discover the deep roots of their Christian faith, that, in the place where their faith was born, that their faith didn't just pop out of nowhere, but it was actually born here in this land. And so that's number one. And number two, to help them encounter modern Israel and the people and the places here today, and really build those bridges of friendship with Israel and the Jewish community back home. So that's really what we're aiming to do. And so therefore the itinerary, the program on the ground includes both of those things. So they visit the biblical sites, they have times of worship and prayer. They connect with their faith in a way that they never have before because they're in the place where it's born. But also, what makes it different than maybe a normal trip to Israel for a Christian would be, is that they hear from Israelis, they hear from Palestinians, Jews, Arabs, Christians, Muslims, and they visit sites that relate to modern Israel. So they're able to, it's a very holistic view of the country, and so that's what makes it unique.
Wow. Sounds great. And now you work with college students, so you're working on college campuses. Tell us a little bit about what you do on campuses.
Absolutely. So after the trip, the journey just begins. The trip is a catalyst to what happens after the trip. And so we have a lot of students that come from state schools, universities across the United States, and many times there are Jewish communities on those campuses. And unfortunately, with this rise in anti-Semitism over the past few years, our Jewish friends on these campuses are afraid to be Jews outwardly on campus. They feel alone. They feel isolated.
Sad.
And so this is something that we do whenever students come back and there is a Jewish community on campus. We have great relationships with Jewish institutions, organizations, to be able to connect Christian students with the Jewish students, say, you're not alone, we're here with you.
Wow, that's really great. Anything else you'd like to add, tell us about?
Well, we're excited to get back to Israel, and we're excited to be bringing a whole round of new students this year. And, we're really excited about growing into the next 5 years. Our vision is to take 10,000 students a year within 5 years. And it's ambitious, but we think we have God's blessing for it, so we're excited.
Wow, that's great. Well, I can say we are definitely excited to have you back, have the tourists back in Israel. That's really great. Thank you so much for joining us, Scott.
It's good to be with you, Julie. Thank you.